Okay, so this is called B-roll. B-roll is just like footage um, that you're not really planning to use to tell a story necessarily, but it's just like something for people to watch as you use audio. So I'm using like the voiceover feature of iMovie here to include audio in my video clip. Now, I was going to record myself saying this, but I had this spare B-roll and I was trying to figure out something to do with it. So this is what we're going to use today. So I just watched a video by, is it mayowas world? Mayowas world? And she was talking about our dark-skinned people in the future. I thought it was an interesting question, but I think that she probably could have been a little bit more descriptive. And mostly because I think she's asking the wrong question. Like, there are definitely dark-skinned people in the present, future, past, in America, in Africa, and everywhere in the world. But for some reason, well, not for some reason. Obviously, we know that all of these things about colorism exist in Hollywood. So, like in Los Angeles film studios, in America, which is a country, right, that is predominantly white and that has a very long history of like white supremacy. So like we already know why the film studios are choosing to make films about white people doing stuff. We don't really have much of an idea of like why there aren't like these complex black characters and why there's not more movies, right, that are telling realistic stories of black people. But to be honest, we don't know if that actually matters anymore because, well, we all have cameras and we all have YouTube and we all have Instagram and we all have TikTok and we all have Snapchat, and we actually know that like black films with black people perform extremely well. Insert like Wakanda Forever, where the whole film only has dark-skinned black people. And these are very complex stories. None of them really have to do with like oppression specifically. They definitely have complex black characters. And so I think that Mayowa might want to think more about how she can use her own channel to tell a more complex story about like her life. Now, there's one part of being a black YouTuber where you're trying to figure out like how to get the algorithm to like you, and then how to get more subscribers and views and stuff. And I think, you can play that game if you're just trying to get money and coins, right? But as you see, like every girl and her mother has like a YouTube channel. So I honestly think it's just more useful to tell like your own story, your own unique story at that, that just talks about how you feel about life, how you feel about stuff in general. And that is unique to you, right? Because like no one else is actually living your life. You are living your life, and your story is like so much different than anyone else's. Anyway, so I also saw this story that I want to talk about. So I listened to the Lil Wayne. So Lil Wayne won, I think it was like a global music ambassador award or something at the pre-show for the Grammys. So this is like a subcategory or something from like one of the pre-shows at the Grammys, and Drake gave this whole speech where he talks about how influential like Lil Wayne was in his life. Now, I am not going to sit here and pretend like my whole life I've been like this rap fan and I know all of these things about rap. I definitely don't. Like, rap is probably the genre. Rap and hip hop are genres that I listen to the least. I will say that I'm very much so into pop music videos. So if there were rappers who were making like pop type songs, like a lot of the P. Diddy songs, they were very pop-ish, and he had like literal pop singers singing in his song, and all his videos were about like fashion and models and stuff. So that's why I'm very familiar with those songs. People like Justin Timberlake, Pharrell. If you really think about it, all their music is like pop. So that's why I am super familiar with it, because they had music videos and all this imagery that I could like watch. So I loved it. And I would just continue to watch it. And I'm very familiar with those artists. But like, I don't know. Like, there are like 3 Lil Wayne songs that I personally know. Like, I know Lollipop. That one was very popish. I remember like hearing it and watching the music video for it. And it seemed like he was this like rock star. I also remember Bedrock. That song with all of the Young Money people. I remember that one. Even like, I gotta say, even like really Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, like I only know like they're really like I know the song. I've watched like kind of a lot of Nicki Minaj videos in the last like 2 years, just because I was trying to understand her story. And then I saw that breakdown by FD Signifier on the social impact of Nicki Minaj. But like, I have never been like a Nicki Minaj fan or like a Lil Wayne fan. But it does feel like there are a lot of people in society who are Lil Wayne fans, as in like they go to his shows, they like listen to his mixtapes, they identify with his story. Like, I personally don't, right? Like, I personally never grew up in with like drugs or something and like Cash Money and like I don't even, I'm not trying to pretend like I know what he's talking about. Like, I've never heard any whole Lil Wayne album at all. But he was talking about like, where I come from, we don't get recognized. We don't get recognized. I don't understand what that means, and I'm not trying to be funny or anything. I really wonder like who is not recognizing him, because like Drake recognizes him all the time. I feel like all of his fans recognize him. Like, he has so many fans. I definitely understand that he's had drama with like Baby or something and Cash Money, and they wouldn't let him put out music, but that doesn't mean that his fans and his supporters went away. They didn't. I feel like maybe sometimes people have so much access that they are like abstract from reality. Like, I wonder who it is. There's probably a small group of people that he's looking for support from, and he's not getting support from them, and he's translating that to mean that like he's not getting support from anyone, which is just not the case. Like, he has so many fans. Be serious. I don't know. I feel like that's a part where influencers or YouTubers or something become useful. So people get to like just plant their feet, like touch some grass, you know?